Tape Deck Media.
My friend Dan, he's got a podcast, 'cause all comics need a podcast, and nobody had a podcast called The Art of Bombing. So Dan went out and bought a tape deck. Who knows why he bought a tape deck? Now podcasts don't get played on tape decks, but Dan is from the 80s. So hey there, all you funny jerks, come talk to Dan about your work. Tell him all about your worst times. It's The Art of Bombing.
Hello, friends, and welcome to an all-new episode of The Art of Bombing presents Between Bombs Callbacks, where Larry...
That's me.
And me, Dan...
That's Dan.
That is me. Call back our most recent episode. And in this episode, we are calling back episode 321 with Katherine Rogue. And that was a fun conversation. I met Katherine out at the Blue Ridge Comedy Festival back in December. And we were on a show together that she crushed. She crushed all her sets, but yeah.
Sure.
That was a fun show. It was like at an axe throwing place.
Oh, that's all. So, like, you really screwed up your set.
Yeah, right. And then they just throw axes.
Throw the axes at
instead of tomatoes.
There's some real stakes here.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll really put you on your game.
yeah. I gotta kill or I'm gonna be killed.
Yeah, kill or be killed. That would be
exactly.
That would be a great name for a comedy show at an axe throwing place.
Dude, right? Kill or be killed.
Oh man, that's funny. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I don't know why I think I'm tired. I need a nap. And in fact, after we're done recording this, I am gonna go take a nap.
Take a little snoozelet. I get it.
I am gonna go take a little snooze after this.
I took a little siesta over my lunchtime.
Nice.
I little 15-minute shut eye. Any more than that, I'd have been asleep the rest of the day. No. So you have to do that definitive timeline, or else.
Oh yeah. I'll set an alarm if I lay down.
Oh yeah.
This, I'll definitely set an alarm, or I'm gonna be done. I'm supposed to go play trivia tonight, so.
Well, that's important.
It is important. So it's important that I do not sleep all night.
No. Nicole's out. She's seen a play.
Ooh,
and
nice.
So this is my video game night. So I'm going to be playing some, doing a little gaming while she's at.
What's your poison right now?
Well, I am playing a little Baldur's Gate 3 now.
Okay.
I know I'm behind everybody, but
that's fine. That's fine.
Just recently upgraded the video game system, so my old Xbox wouldn't support Baldur's Gate 3, so now we've got a machine that can do that. So
very nice. I actually have an Xbox One, but I haven't even turned it on. Somebody gave it to me, and
You're not much of a gamer, though.
I used to be.
Yeah.
Actually, I used to be a huge gamer. That's like all I did. And then I started comedy. And then I quit gaming.
That's the thing. Yeah. I haven't, over the years, had time to really game like I like to. And so, given the opportunity, if it's, hey, you want to come out tonight? No, I can't. Make up excuses so I can just have a night to play video games.
Well, I think once I move back to South Dakota, spoiler everybody, I'm
What?
moving back to South Dakota. I made that decision while we were on break, actually.
Where are you? Are you moving to a rural area, Dan?
I am moving to a rural area, actually.
Is
Now
it
that you
where
say
maybe
that.
you started comedy, or at least
It
where you
is-
came up?
It's where I started comedy. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's where I lived when I started comedy.
Right.
Because I didn't start in that town specifically, but because there wasn't any open mics. But yes, I'm moving back to where it all began.
Well, that's
Going full circle. So by this time next year, you'll probably be at my funeral. I don't know. No.
well, that
That's
is
dark.
that is dark. I was just bringing it up because that segues nicely
I know it does, right?
into what you and Catherine were talking about.
That's right.
because she came up she started comedy in a smaller rural area and small city, and I did too. I mean, if you really, I mean,
Yeah.
Springfield, Illinois, hundred and some thousand people. Um, we had a decent little scene, but to get more stage time, you had to drive to Champaign to get on stage, or Bloomington, or Peoria, or St.
Yep.
Louis.
Yep. And that's gonna
Um,
be, and I will say this: the town that I'm moving to, I mean, it's super small. It's only like 24,000 people, so it's gonna be a big change there. But it is geographically, it is in a good location because
yeah,
it's
it
only a
is.
couple hours from Fargo, a couple hours from Sioux Falls, less than a couple hours from Sioux Falls, and then it's a little over 3 hours to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. So yeah, so
Nothing
it's
crazy.
no, nothing, no big crazy drive, which way better than kind of where I am at. I mean, Colorado's great, love it here. Comedy scene's here great, but Colorado's just kind of like it's weird. The location as far as like to get to another bigger market, it's a long drive.
Right. Yeah.
Like Albuquerque's like 8 hours from here, and that ain't even a necessarily bigger market, but like Salt Lake City, I think is like 8 hours. Everything's like 8 hours from here.
Right. Well, and like, the nice thing about Chicago is Madison's less than 3 hours. Milwaukee's just up the street, so to
Yep.
speak. Um, the the Twin Cities are about a 5 hour haul, I think. Um, St. Louis is another 5 hours to get there, but not unheard of, not crazy. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get back to Central Illinois and to do a run of shows if I wanted to. 3.5 hours, maybe four with traffic. Again, nothing crazy, and that's something. Since we are talking about being in those, don't be discouraged if you are somehow listening to this and you haven't started it and you're in a smaller area. There's also nothing wrong with going to your local watering hole, someplace that might be able to give you some time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
by the way,
Or,
Dan,
I mean,
you
what
look
I did.
great, buddy. I
Oh,
just want to point out
thanks.
you look great. This lighting not doing me any favors. You are killing it. But yeah,
Thank you.
don't be
Look at this
afraid to
beautiful beard. Like it's
you. It's
it's
good.
coming
Uh,
out great.
mine. I don't know what's going on with I look like a Disney villain lately. I don't know what's happening. Um, but it's. I gotta go. I need to go to a professional and have someone tame this. But yeah, don't be afraid to jump behind the wheel, go somewhere. Reach out if you're gonna go to a different scene. One, do yourself a favor. Reach out and make sure that mic is still going on.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
have
always
I've
yeah.
made that mistake.
Yep.
But also, just send an email or a Facebook message or an Instagram message or whatever to whoever runs it, and just give them hey, I'm coming in from XYZ. Just to make sure that everything's still going on that night. Anything I should know, just reach out to them.
Yep.
A lot of
Absolutely.
people that run mics really appreciate that. You
Yep.
might get a little extra time.
Yep.
Or if that's the other thing. If it's a bucket draw, if you're coming in from out of town, they're a little more likely to just be like, all right, I'm going to get you on the list.
Yep. Very true. I will, and to your point too, and not being afraid to go, to like other places to do the mics or whatever. One of the things that I did when I started, because all the open mics were, hour and a half or more from where I was, I started my own open mic.
Right.
So I could, it was only monthly, but I still started something so I could do more shows where I lived as opposed to, having to drive all the time. And I will say this, back when I started, 15 years ago, there wasn't nearly as many comedians in South Dakota as there is now. There's way more shows now
Yeah.
in mics now than there was back then. So that's a good thing. But again, you have to start, and that's a good way to like just get your producing chops and hosting chops too. And but when you're in a small area, don't be afraid to go to a mixed open mic either, because you know sometimes that's what you have to do. If the only open mics are, and a lot of times they'll say just music, but if you're nice enough, they'll let you up.
Yeah. Yeah. And also if you're prepared and you are, and don't, if you go to a mixed open mic, be ready to be ignored. And that's
Unless you're
fine.
good.
Unless you're, even then,
No,
even
no, no.
then,
I will disagree with you on that because
I'm,
this is how you know. This is a okay. Just hear me out. Hear me out. So this is my theory on this. I love going to mixed open mics because of that very reason. Because it's a challenge. Because you're right. A lot of times people aren't paying it. Because the difference between music and comedy, when it is that with music you can still enjoy it without uh, being fully vested. Comedy, you need to be an active listener in order to really, enjoy it. So what I like about mixed open mics is the challenge of I know going in that they're not going to be wanting to pay attention, and if I can draw them in with my material, that material then that tells me that's a good indicator that that's good material.
right. I agree with you, but I'm also saying because it is, if they're used to the listening to music and you go up and you start talking, if for whatever reason, no matter how if maybe you're not as good as Dan
Yeah, yeah.
and
I mean,
you can't catch
that
their
could be the
attention,
problem.
don't beat yourself up. You're getting
Well, that's
stage
true.
time.
I
You're
will
getting
give you
behind the
that.
mic. Yeah.
Yeah, don't beat
Don't beat your,
yourself up.
because you might, like, I've went to mixed open mics, but I was there at the end of the night. Everyone's drunk. There's five people left in the audience, and they truly came to watch one dude. And that dude comes off stage and he sits down and they're all talking to him. I'm just like, all right, I'm going to do my 5 minutes or however much time they gave me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to work this joke and I'm not going to be bothered if they're not paying attention. Because like some of the buddies I came with, my comic buddies, we were all paying attention to each other. We were helping each other work jokes. If, again, for whatever reason, you don't catch their attention, it's okay. You're still
Yep.
getting the stage time. You're behind the mic. Um, but what happens sometimes, Dan, when you can't keep people's attention? You know,
Well, what
you got to
happens? You might have to pivot with your material. Is what you might have
pivot.
to do.
Man, these segues that we do are
I know.
so,
It's like we've been doing this a while. Like we're just
it's
professionals.
so, our segues are gross, dude.
Speak for your own segue.
It mine are terrible. That's it's one of my jokes is that I don't have segues.
I don't have segues. But no, I mean, if your material's not working, and that is something that, and that's not just like in an open mic, that's just shows in general. And it kind of
Yeah,
goes into the
especially.
other thing we were going to talk about, which is, you have to be honest with the time that you can do. And that is very important because and if you're a fan of this show and if you've listened to a lot of the episodes of this show, a lot of the bombing comes from comics. That their stories come from them taking a gig that they weren't ready for because they
Yep,
didn't have the time.
yep. I mean, we've all, and I
And
say
we'll
we've
all
all
do it.
been there.
Yep.
And because I've been I've been very honest since the very beginning.
Yep.
Because I've always been like, when I started out, I was like, I have a solid 10, I have a decent 15, I got a bad 20. And then, but I was like, but I'm working on it. And like, there was a Christmas party that I was just supposed to come in, do 15 minutes. And then there was, for the headliner drops out at the last minute. The owner of the venue is like, you gotta, like 2 days before, he's like, you gotta do an hour. And I was like, I don't have an hour. At that point, I had a real good 20. I had a decent 25. I had a really bad 30. The last 5 minutes were gonna suck. And I was like, I don't have. And he's like, just write jokes. And I was like, oh, just write jokes.
Just write jokes.
Oh, right. Sorry. Let me just write some jokes. I hadn't thought of that. But, even then, I got stuck doing I tied it up at 40 minutes because I was like, this is bad and I should feel bad. Um, and I, of course, when you start hitting the first 20 minutes were solid because that's what I said it was going to be. 25 minutes was okay. 30 minutes was getting real sketchy. And that last 10 minutes, I had no material to pivot to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what you guys were talking about on this episode, where she was up there because she was trying to write new material every week for the same crowd,
Yep.
but they weren't paying attention. And so she went in with just the filthiest material to be like, haha, isn't it funny? Play into the back of the room. And that was the week everyone turned and went, let's hear what she has to say.
Let's watch some comedy this week.
And she wasn't able to pivot.
Yep.
And that's like, I had to, the week before last, I had a gig, and now I had to deal with the venue had an event earlier that day. So some of the patrons, some of the audience members were already in the bag, man. They were already, and it was like four of them out of a crowd of that was, nearly sold out. It was great. But they were right up front and they couldn't shut up. And so I had to do crowd control, and I'd get started on a joke and then they would interrupt. And I'd
That's
have to
what
deal.
was happening to me on the cruise.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yep, where it wasn't they just kept interrupting. I'd do a setup and then they'd interrupt.
Yeah, and then I would have to be like, well, that joke's burnt. It's not going to make sense. Like I could try to do the punchline, but it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I was able to pivot, and they finally walked those people. Um, they were like, because they weren't belligerent, they weren't mean, they just forgot that they weren't at home.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, and that'll happen. I mean, that happens. It really does. Like,
sorry, I lost steam on that. Because I
no,
was like,
that's okay.
but like, I was things just start going along pretty well, and I'd be right in the middle, like right getting ready to drop a punchline, and then they would do it, and then I would say something to make everybody laugh, and then say, okay, well, roll it, and then I'd pivot to a different joke to try and get everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
getting everybody in there. But there's been times recently where I've started on a joke, realized, nope, this isn't the one, and I've even said, yep, you know what? I don't think you guys are gonna like that. Let's go over here, and that's
Absolutely.
gotten a good chuckle. Like, all right, and yeah, we've moved on from there. And but it's important to be able to have enough material to go, oh, I'm losing. I've had them be with me my entire set, laughing their heads off, and then get to my closer that works 99% of the time.
That's the worst when
And I
it
start in and
doesn't.
I'm like, oh, this crowd is already hating this. And then I have just went, you know what? You don't like that. Let's do this one instead.
Yep.
And I've had people go, oh, and I'm like, well, if you were digging it, I'll tell it to you after the show. But I'm telling you right now, these people, your friends, are not loving it.
Be like, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna do this one so they love it. Then I'll do this one as an encore.
Yeah, I'll do the one.
Do an encore. Oh, this is a good time. Let's take our little break. Yeah. So right now we're gonna go to our sponsors. A little word from our sponsors.
Little word.
Little word. And now that you've heard from our sponsors, please support them, because by supporting them, you're supporting us. Other ways to support the show: leave that 5-star review. You know, interact with our stuff on the social media, especially our Facebook group. We've been trying to get that active. Only a handful of people are actually are contributing, but we'd like to see more. We'd like to see more community. That's the whole idea behind that. So check all that out. Like, subscribe, follow podcasts, all the stuff. Tell your
All the
friends,
stuff.
all the
The
stuff,
the
all the
rigmarole, for Pete's sake.
stuff.
Please
Exactly.
leave a review.
It would be
Oh my
amazing.
God. Just a just
Just
a
one.
5
One new
stars.
review would be
5
great.
stars. Great beards.
Yeah,
That's
you could
all.
just say great beards. I would love to see five reviews where it's just the same thing. It's just
Killer
five
beards,
stars,
boys.
great beards,
Yeah.
but different versions of that compliment.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, but getting back into the podcast, talking about being able to deviate, it is important. Like I remember a show, and at the time, fortunately enough, I had had the material that I was able to do this. But I was doing some jokes, and I was at it was a show down in Texas, and we it was like it was a tour that I did with some buddies, and we were putting on this tour or whatever. So there's like three of us, but or four of us on the show on the tour, and I started doing material. I don't remember what the material was exactly. If it was maybe a little like religious or political a little bit, because I'm not really a edgy comedian as far as like I don't push politics or religion.
Right.
I try to stay away from that stuff. But this was also probably this was like 10 years over 10 years ago. So at this time I'm like 5 6 years into comedy. But I
Right.
still had enough where I could tell I was like, oh, I only did one joke, and it was enough for me to be like, oh, I can't do the next chunk of jokes that I want to do because they're not. If they didn't like this one, and that was like nothing compared to what was coming, I was like, there's no way they're liking the rest of this chunk. So we're gonna skip over this and do something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a rough moment when you're like, oh no, you don't like that. You're really gonna not like the next
Yep.
7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes of jokes. Oh crap.
Yeah, I will say now. Just speaking of like taboo topics and stuff, I don't really do political stuff, but I have been doing more stuff like about religion because I grew up very kind of
Yeah.
religious or whatever. So and it's funny because even when I can tell the room's getting uncomfortable, I don't stop. I push it and I make it known that I'm pushing it.
That is
Because I usually do commentary on the audience. When I can tell them to start, I can tell they're starting to tighten up. I'm just like, oh, come on. Why, you guys are all, oh, I'm doing a little talking about religion, and apparently you guys are all going to church tomorrow or whatever. You're all out here drinking on whatever night of the week it is, but you're all saints.
right. Yeah. I no, I can dig that. You know what? I just get a little pushy. One of my I love Pete Holmes and Rory Scovel both right now are
Hmm.
doing great jobs of talking about religion without being insulting to beliefs.
Yeah. Well, and same. I don't do anything to insult beliefs. Like
Right,
my
right. No, I'm saying, yeah, I'm putting you in the same category.
no. Oh, I appreciate that. I was gonna say yeah, because my joke is about because it's a great joke, but it's about my grandma always telling me I need to find God or whatever, find Jesus, and not just my grandma. It's just people in general will use that expression. And the joke is I don't know why they keep wanting me to play this impossible game of hide and seek. You know,
That's great.
I'm like, if he wants to be found, make it easier. And then I continue. It's like, and then they always say things like, "Oh, he's your best friend. He's always there, always watching." And I go, "That sounds like a friend that needs boundaries."
I've heard
And
that. Yeah, I like
yeah,
that
and it's
one.
like maybe even a restraining order.
We're definitely not roommates anymore.
Yeah. I might use that as a tag. That's a
Please
great
do.
tag. I
Yeah.
might use that.
Yeah. What you watching? Oh, stop it. That's a good one. I like that one too. No, beat it.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping you beat it.
Yeah,
That's why I'm watching.
beat it. Which is what I was gonna do, but now I can't because look at it.
Now I feel weird.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny. But yeah. Uh yeah, I guess we got one more topic. Let's talk about this. I'm not even see wait, I didn't do a segue there. I'm just going right into it. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
about
fine.
trying to be,
Nobody
observant.
expects it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Not from us. And
Yeah.
also, we're a little rusty right now. We haven't recorded in over a month. We've been on our
Right.
break. This is the first season,
I
first episode
You can
of
tell
Between
I've coughed
Bombs.
right into the microphone.
Yep.
That's
Yep. I look like I don't want to be here, which is not true. I'm just tired.
Yeah, you do, man. You are like the whole episode. I'm like, man, how do I need to cheer him up?
I'm not
What's
sad. I'm just tired.
that's
Told you that at the
it's
beginning of
like
the
my
show. I
favorite.
need a nap.
It's like my favorite game throughout the day where I'm like, oh, am I depressed or do I just need a snack? You know?
In my case, am I sad or do I just need sleep?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
it's
it
probably both, but
is it low blood sugar or do I need to analyze my feelings?
two things can be true at the
At
same
the same
time.
Have you tried eating? You got depression in my hunger. You got hunger in my depression.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to wear double X clothes.
Yep. But going back to that, with the topic, it's you don't always have to be on. That's one of the things that annoys me the most about being a comedian. When people find out I'm a comedian, and I've had this happen a lot of times before a show, I'll just be sitting at the bar, minding my own business, whatever. And then somebody else is there and they realize I'm the comedian. We start talking, but we're just having a regular conversation. And then they'll be like, "Oh, you're the comedian?" And this will be after the conversation. We'll have a conversation and then they'll find out I'm a comedian. It's performing or whatever. And then they'll be like, "Oh, you're the comedian tonight? Well, you don't seem very funny." And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not working right now. I'm just
Yeah.
sitting at the bar gathering my thoughts. And,
And you're interrupting me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like,
I've had people like where I've been on the road for shows and it's like, I'm sitting at a bar and it's maybe after the show and it's a different bar. I know sometimes, just like there's been times where I'm like, "Oh, cool. There's a bar right across the street from the hotel. That's where I'm going because I'm not going to take a
yep.
chance." And I'm sitting there and people are like, "Oh, what are you in town for?" I'm like, I'm working. "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, okay, and I'll let them know and they're like, "Oh, you don't seem like a comedian." And I said, "Well, give me $20 and I'll do my best." I'm
Yep.
not. It's like, "Oh, like, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I pull fiber optic cable." "Cool. Can we go outside and let you dig a ditch?"
Can you
And
give me a demonstration?
yeah, it's but that's like coming off
You'd be
stage.
like, you don't look like you pull cable very well.
Yeah, you don't look. You want to prove it? I'll give you
I
20
got a
bucks.
cable you can pull.
I got $20 for you.
Long as he ain't watching.
Oh, I'm watching. I knew it. Um, it's okay. That's just my roommate. He's into it. It's weirdly, it's the only way I can finish now.
What do you think the chair's for?
We're just tagging your joke.
I know.
I if goes on a special, I better get writing credit. I'm not asking for money, just writing credit.
Just you want to see your name in the credits.
That's
You'll
it.
be under the special thanks.
Thanks to Larry for the beat off jokes. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Thanks, Larry, for helping me write masturbation jokes while Jesus is watching.
But like we come off stage.
This is getting a little dirtier than we usually do. But thank you, Larry, for helping me write jerking to Jesus jokes.
Not 2, 4. You're doing it 4, not 2.
Oh yeah, for jerking for Jesus.
Yeah, jerking for Jesus, which is my favorite charity. It's actually in that sense, it's pronounced Jesus.
Oh man, all I could that would be a funny T-shirt, jerking for Jesus.
Jerking for Jesus. Well, that might be the next shirt that I make. Did you see my new?
And it's just like jerky or something.
You saw my new shirt, didn't you?
I did.
Frog and Toad fight the cops.
Yep.
Anyway, what I was gonna say before I forget my point is like coming off stage or after like especially a showcase, everyone's hot anyway. Everyone's like, as long as it's a good show, and you're gonna be riffing and having a good time because that's how our brains work.
Yeah.
But you don't always have to be on. That's something that
Hmm.
I've had people.
I think when you're hanging out with comedians, you are always on because it's easier as comedians when we're hanging out with other comedians. We just know that we can be silly and say absurd things, and
Well,
we're like it's like a safety zone. When you're
we will.
out with your regular people, you know,
Yeah,
whether it's regular friends that don't do comedy or family or whatever, sometimes you got to just kind of watch it.
you don't have to be the center of attention. It's okay to not.
Exactly.
You got to be the center of attention for an hour, and you got paid for it. You know, now sometimes you have to come off stage, and then you have to. You don't. I mean, you have to, but it's good to hang out, and you're still making jokes and telling stories and hanging out with the crowd. And taking pictures, and that's, hey, look at me. I'm the guy that was just,
I'm the guy. I'm the dancing clown.
hey,
Bang
buckadoop,
bang bang
beep,
bang.
beep, beep. And then you go back to your hotel and you cry.
Yeah.
Well,
After you eat a bag of Cheetos
and then you
and drink
cry
a
while
40.
cry while you're doing things. What am I doing in my life?
As long as he's not watching. All right.
Shh, 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 I'm right here.
All right, we need to get off this
There's
train.
only one
This train,
set of footprints.
This train is going
That's
way south.
That's when
way
I
south.
carried you.
We're
Anyway,
just right off a cliff right now.
I don't even like it anymore.
I feel like instead of a nap, I might have to go take a shower.
I have to. That's the thing. I have to. I haven't. I
Oh
need
my
to.
God, I'm feeling a little skeevy.
There's a film on me right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's your bad camera, actually.
It is. It's the lighting, man. It
The
is
lighting,
not good.
yeah. Well, that's not so bad when you way back like that.
What? That you don't like this?
Now that's a little creepy.
It's a little much.
All right, that's gonna do it for this week.
Yeah, I think
We're back, baby. We're back, baby.
we're back, baby. Here we go.
Back, baby.
Yeah, that's 27-ish, 29-ish minutes. I don't.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Like, good enough.
Yeah, we'll
This
be back.
episode, good enough.
Good enough. Good enough. Yes, not quite great, but good enough.
Hey, we did write your joke though.
We did add some tags to a joke.
Yeah.
A very funny joke. So there's that. Yeah, we'll be back with an all new episode next week, and then of course the week after that we'll be back with a brand new episode of Between Bombs Callbacks. Do all the things like, subscribe, follow, join the Facebook group, get involved in the conversation, and until next time,
High five and none.
we're back, baby.
Baby.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.